Today in Raleigh, a couple of 4-1 teams ready to do battle. It's the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the NC State Wolfpack. We welcome you courtside here in PNC Arena. My name's Andrew Sanders. You all know Chris Corciani. Welcome to the broadcast. It's one of the top teams in the CUSA, Chris, against an ACC foe in NC State. If Louisiana Tech can spring this upset on the road today, they've got the star power, they think, to do it with Kenneth Lofton Jr.
I tell you, he's a very special player. Don't let the looks deceive you. This guy's big, burly. He's a walking double-double, and the Pack's really going to have to focus on shutting him down today.
One of the top players on that U19 team that won a gold medal as he tips it up with Ebenezer Dewana, and he wins the tip over the 6'11 Dewana.
I tell you, he's a special player, knows how to score, he's got great footwork, good hands, and a lot more mobile than he appears.
This Louisiana Tech team has won 4 straight after an opening night loss on the road at a ranked Alabama squad. Kobe Williams down the lane for 2.
Well, I tell you, he just slashed down there, used his body, and was able to create the shot at the rim.
Here's the starting 5 for head coach Kevin Keatts of NC State. Darion Sebron has been the star so far this season. He's got the basketball now, but they need to get more out of their leader, Jericho Helms.
No doubt about it. Sebron's really off to a good start this year, but it's got to be Helms to really provide them the points and rebounding they need.
There's Dewana with a nice bounce as he scores over top of Junior. Starting 5 for the Bulldogs. You already saw a bucket from Kobe Williams. This is a team that is relatively young, but they have got some experienced guards. And you look at Amari Archibald as well as Xavier Christian. So they've got good experience where it counts. And there's Helms.
Yeah, Helms, that's big for NC State. He has struggled early in the season, but he's the guy that's got a lot of experience and is really capable of putting the Pack on his shoulders.
So that first shot goes down from him, and we'll see. It looked like a little bit of a flop from Helms there. Ball tipped out of bounds by Morcell. Well, that's the first deflection for the NC State defense. That's something they track for head coach Kevin Keatts. He loves to speed teams up. That's certainly going to be the idea here today against Louisiana Tech.
The more deflections you get, the more opportunities for steals and easy points on the other end, and that's the way Coach Keatts likes to play.
Let's see, nearly 15 turnovers forced last season, and so Louisiana Tech coming into this one, they know taking care of the basketball, that is going to be a premium for them.
You're going to have to look at the end of the game, how many turnovers is NC State able to create? They want to create turnovers that leads to good offense.
Amari Archibald, good D by Jericho Helms, and a shot clock violation.
I tell you, Helms did a great job there, just keeping the ball handler in front of him. No breakdown there. That was good defense by Jericho.
There's Louisiana Tech head coach Eric Conkle, who was in the ACC as an assistant. He's part of the Jim Larinaga coaching tree. Had a chance to talk to him this morning, the reigning Conference USA Coach of the Year. Another look for Helms. He's 2 for 2.
Well, I tell you that, Coach Keatts with a big smile on his face, been waiting for that to happen. You know, Jericho coming into this year had a great year last year, especially late in the year. And early in the year, he hasn't gotten off to a good start, so very, very good to see that.
Well, foul trouble has been a problem for him as he's fouled out of 3 games as Junior Lofton and 1.
I tell you, great entry pass to the big man, and he was able to finish. I tell you what, he reminds me of Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley always had a little extra weight. You didn't think he could get up. And as you can see right there, Lofton with the nice slam dunk.
Well, like Charles Barkley as he completes the 3-point play, he's a rebounding machine. And he's led Louisiana Tech in rebounding in each of the last 10 games, obviously dating back to last year.
He's what you call just a ball player. He loves the game. Talking with Coach Conkle earlier today, said if he's not playing, he's talking about it, he's watching it. He's one of those throwback guys that just loves being around basketball.
Here's Darion Sebron of NC State. Had Lofton on him, and they find the mismatch. Flush for Dewana.
That's a good look inside. Great to get 2 early buckets from Evie Dewana. The Pack needs to get something from that 5 position with Manny Bates out.
Yeah, NC State 4 for 4 from the fields as Sebron forces the turnover. And he is fun to watch in transition.
Well, that's when he's at its best, when he's going downhill at the basket. Dewana with his third early bucket.
Timeout, Louisiana Tech. The Pack perfect from the field, 5 for 5. Dewana's got 6, and Helms has 6 on 2 threes. Early timeout called by the Bulldogs as NC State getting whatever they want offensively. A couple of dunks for Evie Dewana. He's got 3 baskets already.
No doubt. This is exactly what Coach Keats wanted. Jericho Holmes off to a great start. Evie Dewana with 3 early buckets. So this is a really good start for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I mean, if you could draw it up in the first 4 minutes, obviously, yeah, making every shot. That would help. Look at Kobe Williams get up. Right through the legs of Junior Lofton, and it falls to Cam Hayes. But it's not just Dewana scoring, it's Helms, as you say, as well. He's got another corner 3. Oh, if that had gone down, the lid would have came off this place.
I tell you, Sebron's doing a really nice job of facilitating there with a beautiful steal.
And he'll clean it up, so he's got 4 assists and now a bucket of his own.
Yeah, he's got a steal, buckets. You know, but he's got the capability of taking a game over all by himself.
14-5. NC State has had a week off. They've enjoyed the holiday. It looks like they came out focused and ready to play today, Chris.
Louisiana Tech just needs to slow down a little bit. They're playing at the pace that NC State wants. This is where they want the ball down here with Lofton. He can do damage down here.
And that's exactly what he does. He uses his strength to back down Dewana.
I mean, he is wide, big shoulders, good footwork. When he gets it that low, NC State needs to send another defender down.
Helms gets his defender in the air. He wanted the foul as well. But Jericho Helms, throughout his career at NC State, he's one of those guys, I don't know if you were this way, Chris, but if his first shot or 2 goes down, he's locked in the whole game. You know he's going to have a big night.
Yeah, that rim gets a lot bigger after you hit a couple shots. You know, early in the year he's gotten in foul trouble, just hasn't been in rhythm. Today he certainly is.
Nearly a turnover, but it goes through Williams' hands.
This has been a great start for NC State, exactly how they wanted to come out.
Cam Hayes with the mid-range. One of the few empty possessions and a long outlet. How about this? The Bulldogs going quick. It's Amari Archibald.
That was beautiful. It started with a great pass by Lofton Jr.
Archibald, number 3.
How about this? You say Charles Barkley, I say Wes Unseld with that pass. State up 7 on Louisiana Tech here. First media timeout. And Jericho Helms, look, is the only 4-year senior on this team. He is the unquestioned leader, and he's been leading with his play on the floor. And this NC State team, while they've been picking up wins despite some of his foul trouble struggles, they're a much better and a different team when he's playing at this level, which is the level that they know he can play at.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, he was the guy coming into this year that we all thought would be the leader, not only scoring, but just with the veteran leadership. He's got 8 points. He's only averaging 11 so far, and that's been a problem. He just has gotten into foul trouble, just hasn't really found his rhythm. And today, getting off early has got to be a really nice surprise for Coach Keats.
How about this? Some full court pressure shown by the Bulldogs. David Green is subbed in, so has LaDamian Bradford.
Yeah, Coach Conkle trying to mix it up a little. You know, we talked to him. He wanted to really make NC State beat them from outside. Didn't want to give them any good looks at the 2, but Helms getting hot early has not helped their defensive scheme.
Well, he is beating them from the outside so far.
I'll tell you what, he came to play. He didn't eat too much turkey yesterday. You know, he just took it easy and was light on his feet. Really off to a nice start.
How about 3 threes for Jericho Helms already?
You know, this is the tempo NC State wants to play. As we talked about deflections, and Louisiana Tech hasn't settled down into their offense yet.
But when they need a bucket, they go to junior Lofton.
It's amazing. NC State needs to run a defender. When he catches the ball, especially so low, it's hard to stop. Here, so somebody needs to run at him a little bit earlier. He catches it down there. That's a bucket.
CUSA Freshman of the Year last year. So by eligibility, yes, he's still a freshman, but a second-year freshman and a guy that a lot of national media think he might be a name that burst onto the scene this year.
No question. He really had a great summer with the under-19 team USA. And a smart player, but, boy, he's just, fun to watch.
Casey Morcell, and that is good from the mid-range. So everything falling for NC State right now. The Wolfpack shooting 75%.
Morcell's a really good-looking player. He's very strong. He gets a couple of dribbles and gets into the lane and raises up. He's hard to guard.
Jalen Gibson subbing in for Dewana as Lofton throws it away. Transition three, short. That's going to be an offensive foul as Terquavion Smith draws the charge on David Green.
Yeah, just a great defensive play. Baby T staying in there, giving up his body for his team. Sometimes you don't have the numbers, but he just stayed in there and made a great defensive play.
Terquavion Smith doesn't get the start today, but off the bench, he's a guy that can really score as a true freshman.
He's electrifying. He can really shoot it. He's fearless. He's one of these guys that isn't afraid to go to the bucket. Very strong, just a great athlete, a two-sport star. And, his ceiling is just, his future is very bright.
Third-ranked player in the state of North Carolina. Said Kevin Keats and his staff, they were recruiting him early, believed in him. And the young man from Greenville.
Andrew, sometimes you recruit winners. And Coach Keats has Smith and Breon Pass, and all those guys did in high school, whether it was on the football field or basketball court, all they did was win. You need guys like that. That's what you want to surround your program with.
So he goes 1 of 2, and off the miss, Louisiana Tech with an easy bucket. Kenny Hunter seeing his first minutes, the second-year freshman.
Tell you, he had the ball down low, and defenders left him. The most dangerous person on the court is the guy with the basketball. NC State just kind of scattered, and he was able to hit the easy one.
Helms again. Why not?
Wow, red hot. He's getting some good looks. His teammates are doing a great job of finding him. They know he's hot, so they want to get him the ball.
You said the basket was getting bigger for him. How big is it by now?
It is getting real big. I tell you, once you knock down your first one, it's special.
Jericho Helms and the Wolfpack out and running, up 10. Jericho Helms already has 14 points on 4 of 5 shooting from downtown. He is NBA Jam flaming basketball hot right now, Chris Corciani.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you, he's letting the game come to him. Every shot he's getting is in rhythm. And the players are doing a good job of sharing the sugar with one another, and nothing's being forced. That's the thing. Early in the year, a lot of bad shots. Today, everything's in the flow of the game.
Within the flow of the offense, there's a block by Jalen Gibson. And off of that, NC State wants to push in transition, and there's maybe a good decision by Helms.
I thought that was going to be a little heat check. He was going to let it fly, but good decision. Nice offense.
The fans really want him to shoot it. He goes to the rack, and that ball's blocked off of his body out of bounds.
Yeah, it seems like he could have got that one up, put it on the deck. Went a little too far. He needed to pull up and hit a little runner.
See if Louisiana Tech can settle in here. Kobe Williams almost had his pocket picked by Hayes. Another deflection. Another deflection. And Cam Hayes slaps the floor because he knows he was that close to having to run out twice.
I'll tell you what's really been good with that NC State, they're really keeping the ball handler in front of them. There's been no breakdowns. When a guy gets around the defender, it creates an unfair advantage for the offense. And early in the season, there was a lot of ball handlers getting all the way to the rim. Today, defensively, they've done a great job.
That beat the horn. NC State already has forced one shot clock violation, and then that one forcing a half-court heave.
Yeah, that was not the best shot right there by Cam Hayes. They need to be patient. They're really offense looking a lot better. That was not a good shot.
Green too strong. And Louisiana Tech getting back in transition is Kobe Williams.
I tell you, Smith, if he puts a little bit more air underneath that pass, you know, that would have worked. It was too much of a line drive there. Gibson really streaked down the court.
Sebron going to check out, as will Jalen Gibson, as they get a nice hand. Dewana is back in. Casey Morsell. $16 for Helms. We're not even 10 minutes in.
I tell you, very patient. When he got the ball, he didn't rush. Nobody came, head fake, under control the whole way.
Caleb Stewart on the court for the first time for Coach Conkle. Here he is in the corner. Driving to Helms. Got up in the air, didn't know where to go with the basketball. Only 2 to shoot. Junior realizes it.
Unfortunate right there. But I'll tell you, Keats has to be extremely proud of the way they're playing defense. I mean, they're getting nothing easy.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lofton Jr., they've got to go down, dig down when he gets the ball. But early in the first half, defensively, they've been superb.
And nothing falling out of that corner. Keyston Willis made 7 threes on Wednesday against ULM, but he's 0 for 2. Meanwhile, as we told you, Terquavion Smith, unlimited range for the freshman.
Okay, he's fearless. You know, he can do it all. He's only going to get better and better as the year goes on, but can shoot it, can play defense. Just a high-level athlete.
Well, we are expecting this to be a very tight ball game, and so far in this first half, it's been all NC State.
I tell you, defensively, they have set the tone. It's made it tough for Louisiana Tech to get in their offense.
Another tough shot, but Willis will go to the line as he was fouled.
Willis with a nice drive there, but Cam Hayes needs to be smarter there. Off-balance shot, let him make that. Don't put him on the line.
So as I told you, Keyston Willis, 7 made threes, 22 points on Wednesday. That led the team, as you might expect. There's his first point today. And Coach Conkle said, we want to find him offensively. He's a guy that spent 2 years at Incarnate Word. They knew about him. He was on their radar. When they saw him in the transfer portal, they were looking for a shooter to add, and they found a good one in Willis.
No doubt. When you're shooting 50% from 3, I don't care if it's with nobody guarding you in practice. That's incredible. When you're doing 50% during games, that's a high-level shooter.
Couple of freshmen in the backcourt now for Kevin Keats. Terquavion Smith and Breon Pass wearing 10 in white. Here is Pass with the ball, top of the key, 12 to shoot.
Tell you, they're keeping everything in front. They're kind of wanting them to shoot the ball.
Morsell was maybe a little too open as Lofton just disappeared.
This is where he's dangerous.
Dangerous skip pass. Willis's 3. That's the first one to go down. And you always say as a shooter, you put him on the line, they see it go in a couple of times. He had been 0 for 3 until that.
Well, he's dangerous. You know, as we said, 50%. If he hits a couple, he can get him back in the game.
Speaking of dangerous, Jericho Helms, have a half.
Tell you, this is huge. It's As you said, you make that first one, but he is red hot. Hellam's having a huge game.
5 of 6 from deep, 7 of 9 from the floor overall. He's got 19. And this is some kind of pace for Helms. Lofton trying to answer.
I tell you, he is crafty in there. He gets it, he just uses his big body and his shoulders to get the ball up. If I'm Breon Pass, I'm trying to get Helms a shot because he is on fire.
Smith out of control, and then Lofton was poked in the eye by Dewana. Jericho Helms, what can you say? He's only 5 off his career high, 7-13 to go in the first half.
Number 21, that's his second, the 15th foul. Official timeout.
Blast.
Food Lion is the proud sponsor of the Score.
So look at the comparison. Jericho Helms against the entire Louisiana Tech offense, 19. Have you seen something like this?
No, this is one of the best start of the game. You know, we're 13 minutes into the game, and you know, he's just putting on one of those performances we'll be talking about for a long time.
And to take nothing away from what he's doing on the offensive end of the court, but you feel like the overall success for NC State on that end is actually because of the work on the other side.
I think so. I think that they've really got a nice defensive pressure, rhythm, and they haven't given any other than that 3 right there. They've played a great first 13 minutes on the defensive end, which has really helped their flow on the offensive side.
Krista knocks down the 3. So coming out of the timeout, Bulldogs trying to climb back in this one as they cut it to 8.
This is not what here he goes. Nope. Tell you, this wasn't what Coach Conkle wanted. He wanted NC State to really beat them from 3, and that's exactly what they're doing. You know, he was going to give them the shots, don't give them the easy 2s, and Jericho Helms is really spoiling his game plan.
So we'll see how they adjust coming down the stretch here in the first half, and then obviously after halftime.
You know, this is where State's got a nice lead. Now they need to run their offense, be patient. They don't need to force anything. They've got a good flow going here in the first half.
Darion Sebron leading scorer and rebounder. He's been leading in terms of distribution and in steals so far in this first half. That's a tough shot for Helms. An offensive rebound by Gibson.
That's what they want from Jalen Gibson. Go to the boards, get rebounds, throw it back out. They don't need that center position to be a scoring position. With E.B. Dewana and Gibson, give us some offensive boards, play good defense, and that's what we really need from it.
Foul's going to go against Kobe Williams, and that's his second. And they're actually going to look at it to make sure that it was on Williams because, again, he is running point. This would be a big foul here if he would be saddled with his second with still 6 minutes and change to go in the first half.
Yeah, when you're playing against a team like NC State that presses the majority of the game, you need your point guard out there.
And so they say, yeah, it is on 24. That's Kobe Williams. And while he spells his name with a C, not a K, he does wear 24 in honor of Kobe, Kobe being Bryant.
I'll tell you what, he was one of the special players of all time, could do it all. I remember when he came out of high school in Marion in Pennsylvania, he was just unbelievable. Such a tragedy to lose such a great person and player.
So Williams to the bench with that second foul that was confirmed via review. 10 to shoot for number 10, Breon Pass. Into the post. Helms trying to use his strength. Penned it up against the bottom of the rim, and it falls in the end to Archibald. Amari Archibald making his 112th career start today. Good look for the freshman Caleb Stewart, and he hits his first shot.
Stewart knocks it down, but you got to credit Lofton Jr. He saw the double team come. Great decision to kick it out to the shooter.
You know, he's so tough to guard one-on-one, but if he's going to pass like that, seeing the double team, then you see why they think he's one of the better players in the country.
Right, he's just not a scorer. He's what we call just a great basketball player.
Bulldogs starting to pick up the defensive intensity now, forcing NC State into tough shots, but for Jericho Helms, it doesn't seem to matter.
No, the shot clock was running down. Jericho with a little off-balance shot, but when you got it going, you got it going.
21 now. We could be seeing an historic performance by Helms if he can keep up this pace. 21 in 15 minutes. There's Lofton.
That's where, to me, NC State's got to run somebody at him. He's too strong, too big. He's either going to score or get to the line. You know, you don't want to leave the shooters, but you got to just dig in there, make it a little more difficult for him.
Kenneth Lofton Jr. They don't call him Kenny. They already have a Kenny on the team. That's Kenny Hunter. We saw him make about an 8-footer earlier for his bucket.
Tell you,
so they just call him Junior.
He doesn't look like a junior. He looks like a senior to me. As big as he is. He's got a real nice soft touch. When his shot, his ball hits the rim, it's kind of magnetic. It just falls in.
Of course, Kenny Lofton, already a famous name if you're a baseball fan, which, Chris, I know you are.
Oh, absolutely. He could hit. He could run. Great outfielder.
Yeah.
Tell you, he was a heck of a basketball player at Arizona as well.
Wow. How about that pass deflected? It almost went in. I did not know that about Kenny Lofton.
Yeah. Played for the Wildcats. Point guard. He was a tough one to guard, all that speed.
Yeah. Pass will come out. Terquavion Smith will come in, and Jericho Helms is going to head to the bench.
I tell you, Andrew, if you're Coach Conkle, NC State has shot the lights out, played extremely well. You look up, and we're only down 6. He's got to feel real good about where his team is right now.
Yeah, with the help of Lofton, Louisiana Tech, I mean, NC State shooting 56%, but the Bulldogs right there as well, 53%. I mean, offense has been smooth so far. A look for Morcell and missed it short.
Tell you, they're playing real smart defense. Louisiana Tech going underneath screens, making it tough.
But with Lofton and Helms on the bench, we'll see how these two offenses look without the two stars of the game so far.
It's tough. He's strong down there.
There's Kenny Hunter with another rebound.
Tell you, they have really settled down. Early in the game, Louisiana Tech playing a little fast. They weren't comfortable. They've settled down in their offense.
Hunter.
Ooh.
That may be a little bit out of his range. Smith's not shy in transition. And with him falling down, a chance now. Keaston Willis.
Keaston was looking for the foul, didn't get it. This is where I'd like to see NC State just pull it back. There you go. Bring it back out. Let's run a nice offense here.
They will run some clock as we go under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Flashing to the rim is Gibson, and he takes the body from Kristen. He'll go to the line. Good game here in Raleigh. 6-point lead for the Wolfpack. Was hot as these two offenses started. Things have cooled off as of late. Bulldogs have missed their last 4. NC State just 1 of its last 8. Back with Chris Corciani, I'm Andrew Sanders. Jalen Gibson will go to the free throw line for NC State after the first foul by Xavier Christon.
I'm not sure, Andrew, if that shooting percentage was going to continue. I mean, they were hot.
Coming up at 3:45 Eastern, it's the 103rd battle for the Commonwealth Cup. Virginia Tech takes on Virginia. The Hokies, it's a must win, not just for bragging rights, but to get bowl eligible. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett and 17th-ranked Pittsburgh, who clinched a spot in the ACC championship game last Saturday. They'll square off against Syracuse, who also needs a win to become bowl eligible. As Junior, once again off the glass, having a big half.
I tell you, he parks himself right down low where he wants the ball, and he can score once he gets it. They do a great job of really looking for Lofton Jr. as well.
Well, he averages just under 15 points a game so far this year. How about he's already got 13 in this first half. So he and Jericho Helms battling. Gibson maybe got away with the travel, and he missed the works anyways.
That's one I'd like to see Gibson get the offensive rebound, throw it back out, try to look for a shooter. He's not yet capable of grabbing that ball and scoring at the basket.
Kobe Williams back on the court to run things with those 2 fouls. Corner 3, boy, halfway down and out for Archibald.
No question. Cam was a little late getting to him because he was running at Lofton Jr.
Cam Hayes, the much bigger junior, in front of him. That's going to be a tough ask for Lofton to guard him.
Right, Cam is such an intelligent player. He knew he had a little mismatch. Lofton Jr. wasn't going to be able to, stay in front of Hayes. He does a nice job. He also did a nice job of not going too deep. He just pulled up.
Williams nowhere to go with it, had his pocket picked. Sebron, dazzling to the bucket.
Tell you, that's what he does best. When he's going north and south with a full head of steam, he is hard to keep in front.
Tip won't fall for Lofton. Pack will run again. Terquavion Smith, short, follows his own miss. And after Lofton hit the deck, Gibson will score it easily. What do we got here?
I think they were saying he flopped. Yep.
A flop warning.
Flop warning. I tell you what, Gibson's not big enough to knock down Lofton Jr. the way he flopped.
That's one of the downsides of being strong, is that you're not going to get that call.
You're not getting that call. I tell you, he needed to just stay there and play good, sound defense instead of flop. He made it easy for Gibson to get the deuce.
So that 3 from the corner for Archibald had gone down, would have cut it to 1. It hopped out. NC State, a quick run in transition. All of a sudden, I was going to say it's a 10-point game, but there's Kenny Hunter with his second bucket.
That was a beautiful pass to Hunter underneath. It was a rocket. Good hands inside in the finish.
About a 5-second differential, shot clock and game clock here. Cam Hayes will keep that right-handed dribble alive and run a little time. Have to think they get it in Helm's hands at some point, right? It's going to be a Smith 3. Kriston's got to go. Willis with a 3 at the horn. Doesn't fall. Good pace to the first half. Both teams shooting well. And while NC State stretched out its lead at one point up 30-15, this one got a little tighter, turning into the game I think we expected.
Yeah, this is far from over. Louisiana Tech down 8 after that hot start from NC State. They've got to feel pretty good where they are. Coach Keats has to be pleased with the first half as well.
All right, we'll take a break. Halftime here in Raleigh. Halftime here in Raleigh. Alongside Chris Corciani, I'm Andrew Sanders. Welcome back, everybody. NC State and Louisiana Tech with a budding rivalry over the last year. These two schools separated by nearly 1,000 miles. They're not in the same conference, but they've been butting heads a lot recently in the last year. It began in the Ruston Regional in the NCAAs. Lane Burroughs and the Bulldogs with an incredible year got to host for the first time at the newly renovated Love Shack, but it was Elliott Avent and the Wolfpack who seemed to be a team of destiny en route to a deep College World Series run 21 as they were dubbed America's team.
No doubt about that, Andrew. It was special. You know, they caught lightning in a bottle, and they really believed they could do anything. They got timely hits. It was a really special time. Unfortunately, it came to an end.
Pack went 3-0 in Ruston, taking that regional, beating Arkansas to make Omaha. Then on October 2nd on the gridiron, a 7-point game. It came down to a last-second heave in the end zone by Austin Kendall of Louisiana Tech. And you see Jakeen Harris came up with that last-second interception in the end zone. A real nail-biter in Carter Finley as the Bulldogs gave the Wolfpack all they wanted.
No doubt. I was there for that game. It was back and forth. Louisiana Tech had a great offensive scheme, and we were able to survive and get the victory.
So the Pack has gotten the better of Louisiana Tech on the baseball diamond and on the gridiron. But again, it's a new rivalry as it seems that they meet here on the hardwood. We take a look now at the ACC standings. The Wolfpack 4-1. Really the headline, as you see up top, the only 7-0 team, the Duke Blue Devils. They were pretty good last night against number 1 Gonzaga.
No doubt. You know, those two teams may see one another again, but you know, Duke's going to be up there all year. You got to try to stay in the middle. I think that the middle of the pack is going to be very crucial. Who's going to win enough games to get in the tournament?
Yeah. And meanwhile, as we take a look on the other side of things and in the CUSA, hey, UAB was picked first, but the reigning West Division champions are these Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, and right now they're the only one-loss team in the West. They're going to be awfully good again.
There's no doubt. You know, they've done it year in and year out. They're always 1 or 2 in conference, and as you saw the first half, you know, they've got a great team, very well coached.
We'll be back in just a minute here on the ACC Network Extra. Too much leftover turkey, I guess. This has been an entertaining game. No time for a nap. 41-33 here at halftime. Teams are back on the floor. We're back on your screen. Hey, I'm Andrew Sanders with Chris Corciani, and you know, we were talking during halftime and really felt like both teams have to be pretty pleased with where they are through the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Louisiana Tech down 8, but in a good place. I'm not so sure NC State can shoot the ball the way they did the first half, so they have to be pleased.
Well, we've got some highlights as promised from first half action, and of course it's got to start with Jericho Helms because he led all scorers 21, most of his damage done from the bonus field.
Yeah, no question. He was just catching and shooting, not doing anything special. There in the interior, head fake, didn't get the foul in the bucket. But I tell you, NC State did a great job of finding him, especially after he hit his first couple.
5 of 7 from deep. This is where, you know, he's a 37% shooter from the outside, but he can also, you know, use his size and strength inside. So he leads all scorers with 21, but hey, don't sleep on Kenneth Lofton Jr. He got to work early and often for this Bulldog team, and he's been a leader, not just in scoring, but you know, he can distribute as well.
Well, I love his game. He is so much fun to watch. It's hard to believe how much damage he does in the paint. He's very strong, very smart. There you see him with a nice kick-out pass. He has really been enjoyable to watch the first half.
13 points for Junior, as they call him, and this is probably, in my opinion, the best highlight. How about that ball?
That was a fastball right down to the streaking player.
Quick look at the stats. You know, both teams shooting it well, although those numbers did drop down in the last, say, 6 minutes or so of the first half. How about Louisiana Tech? And a lot of it is Lofton Jr., the points in the paint right there, leading NC State.
No doubt about it, throwing it in there. He's able to create. But this has not been a boring game. This first half was special.
And we hope that continues here in the second stanza. Helms on the floor with Hayes, Morcell, Sebron, and Dewana. Starting 5 for Kevin Keats.
Yeah, and if you notice how they're playing, they're really packed in pretty good. That's the shot that NC State has to hit. It's that mid-range shot. Louisiana Tech really doesn't want them to get in the lane, and that's a shot that can create havoc here in the second half.
When NC State built that lead up to 15 points in the first half, you were saying that the defense is theirs. Junior again going to work, but you were saying the defense was leading to the offense, and you see right there, not only is it Hayes hitting that shot, but then that allows them to set up their press as well.
Exactly. You know, that's what they want to do. You know, we talked about deflections. We talked about steals. I think it was the energy in the first half that they really applied to Louisiana Tech that set the tone for them, especially on the offensive end.
NC State forced 8 first-half turnovers out of the Bulldogs, but how about this? And I think this, you know, that wasn't in our stats package, and I think this kind of goes a little bit under the radar for Kevin Keats' team this year. They've been exceptional. People talk about what they force. They've been taking exceptional care of the basketball. How about just 2 turnovers in the first half for the Pack?
Okay, you're going to win a lot of ball games if you only turn the ball over 2 times, especially they're playing fast. They're running on steals and long rebounds. And their young guards have made some good decisions in the first half. 2 turnovers is a great number.
Jump ball, possession arrow favors the Bulldogs, and Jericho Helms ran into a brick wall.
There's no question about that. If that was football, he did not get any extra yardage there. That was a great defensive play.
Forward progress was stopped. Yeah, well, if you know, speaking of football, Lofton Jr. is 6'7", about 285. So a little undersized for an offensive tackle, but he's pretty close.
I'll tell you what, and he moves so well. I mean, as big as he is, he's really light of foot and moves. Good footwork, good hands. He would have made a great offensive tackle, but he's a heck of a basketball player as well.
He's got too much touch around the rim to be blocking.
That's right.
And a foul on Williams, that's his 3rd. So he picks up an early 3rd foul here, just over a minute gone in the second half.
Yeah, they can ill afford to get him in foul trouble. Here's one where, you know, you really don't need to do that. Now he's going to have to go sit down. That's a loss for Louisiana Tech early in the second half.
And I asked Coach Conkle about his guard play, because if there's one area on a pretty young team, obviously keep in mind Kenneth Lofton Jr. is just a second-year freshman, as good as he is. Where they have their experiences in the guards in Archibald and in Kriston and obviously in Kobe Williams. And he said that, you know, Williams is instrumental, and he's an all-CUSA defensive team member. He says it's not just him running the offense, but his defense is really a catalyst for this team. So for him to go to the bench at this early juncture and his team down 8, this is a key stretch for Louisiana Tech.
Just the foul that he committed just wasn't a smart one. If you're going to do it, at least make it a good one. Oh, beautiful defense, Casey Morrell. Tell you, that's hard though, Andrew, when a guy's coming at you full speed to really stand there under control like Casey did. That's a big-time defensive play.
Took it away, tied him up, and, you know, tried to Euro step here. And there's a reason everybody Euro steps, right? That's a tough move to guard.
Yeah, no question about it. But what Casey did well, he moved back as he was impeding. He just kept moving back, got his hands on the ball. Might have got fouled down there, a little push, but no call.
That's one he definitely won.
This is where he's dangerous down there.
And he turns it over, 10th turnover. But Casey Morcell, an impact transfer coming over for Virginia. Obviously, the Hoos are known for their defense, and he shows some good fundamentals there.
You know, he's what you call a two-way player. You know, he really can play defense, very capable on the offensive side too, but he's the kind of guy you want on your team that you know he's going to bring it every night on both ends of the floor.
High pass for Helms. He goes up to grab it. Xavion Kriston guarding him as he backs him down. Jericho Helms, you know, he can score in similar ways to Lofton Jr., and right there he shows his strength.
You know, I love his strength, but I really love his patience. He didn't hurry. Everything was nice and easy. He knew the double wasn't coming. And there's the big bully inside. I'll tell you, he is fun to watch.
Sebron, nobody stopped him. He cruises right to the rim for 2.
You know, Sebron's a very smart player. He knew there was no defense on the weak side, and he just streaked down the court, and Casey Morcell found him easy.
Archibald had it taken away by Sebron. Bounce pass And he'll clean up the Helms miss.
Tell you, Sebron does a little bit of everything. A great defensive play.
Yep.
Takes the ball down. Great bounce pass to Helms. He couldn't finish, but guess who was there to clean it up?
All right, so you're one of the world's foremost experts in, well, I'll ask you in assist. I'll ask you about that pass when we come back. Good start to the half for the Wolfpack, up 12. Well, Darion Sebron can do really a little bit of everything. He scores off the more self-feed, the steal, and then this is what I wanted to ask you about, Chris.
That's beautiful.
As many assists as you had in your career, I'm sure that guy's messed one or two up. Did you ever say anything to him about it? Because that's one I feel like Sebron wants the assist.
No question. Absolutely. They miss an easy one. You say, listen, I could have gone either way. I gave you an opportunity, but next time I'm going the other way. I was fortunate enough to play with such great players. It didn't matter which way I went. You know, they were going to convert.
Stewart, another three. Well, that's Stewart starting to heat up, and out of the timeout, we've seen Louisiana Tech with a couple of nice possessions coming out of these breaks.
Yeah, they don't rush anything. A lot of times big guys get the ball down low and everything's real fast. Lofton Jr. is always under control. He's a great facilitator, not only a scorer inside.
Hayes bailed out by the whistle this time, and that'll take us to our break.
Here you see Lofton getting the ball down, gets it low in the post, real smart, finds the shooter. They're getting some good ball movement.
Ballard Sports South is your home for ACC and Wolfpack.
Kevin Keats looking for his next leading scorer. You know, as the Greek philosopher Heraclitus told us, change is the only constant, and that has been the case for Kevin Keats and his team, constantly having to replace its leading scorer. The question this year, as you see, that big question mark, is it going to be Darion Sebron? Is it going to be Jericho Helms, who has been carrying the load today? Those are probably the two most likely candidates.
Yeah, I never heard of that guy you were just referencing, but I tell you, that's kind of a blessing or a curse. You've got different guys scoring, leading you. I'd rather have a dog that's going out giving me 20 every night. So, you know, on one side, it's hard to prepare. You don't know what you're going to have. On the other hand, if you got a guy that you know is going to go get it every night, that's what coaches love as well.
You didn't brush up on your Greek philosophy over Thanksgiving break?
I did. If he doesn't play football, basketball, or baseball, I don't know who he is.
How about this? I'll tell you this. Kenneth Lofton Jr. and Jericho Helms today have been the Bryce Harpers of this game. How about that? And by that, I mean the MVP.
I love that. Being a Philadelphia Phillies fan, I certainly...
Just for you, partner.
I understand that.
I'll put that in your terms.
And appreciate you bringing that up. The Phillies, they're going to load up, and I think they're going to give the Braves a good run next year.
Of course, we're talking about two MVPs. The other would be Shohei Ohtani, who, as much as you like Bryce Harper, there might be nobody more fun to watch than Shohei.
I'll tell you, what an athlete to be able to do it, both hitting and pitching. He is a special guy.
But I know you're a Phillies guy through and through. Good look inside. Gibson didn't catch it cleanly, and then he traveled.
Good look. Cam Hayes kind of slung that. That's where Jalen Gibson needs to improve and get better. You know, that's a beautiful pass. Cam Hayes just got to catch that and convert it. The more playing time Gibson gets and Ibi Dewana, the better they're going to get. They just need to hurry up and get there. You know, before Thanksgiving, everybody can get a little bit better. We get after Thanksgiving, closer to Christmas, you get into the ACC games, those guys are going to have to really get better in a hurry.
The lead back to 8 for NC State, having a tough time guarding Kenneth Lofton Jr. Open three for Helms, and a new career high. Give him 26.
He is on fire. Give Cam Hayes credit. You know, they're finding the open guy. All of his shots have been catch and shoot. Nothing's forced. Cam Hayes with a great pass as well.
Nearly a career high for Stewart there if he had knocked that one down. Watch out, Sebron. How he rolled off for him.
The big man gets it down low, and he is a bully down there. I tell you, real crafty, follows his shot. Just love watching him play. Helms bangs home another one. He is on fire with a career high. Really, if Helms doesn't come to play early, this game's a lot closer than it is, and it's only an 11-point game right now.
Kind of the game within game right now on both ends. It's Lofton and Helms bucket for bucket.
Better help him down there. You better help him.
And Helms going to be whistled for the foul. And I think that's been some of the philosophy today for NC State is they know about the shooters on the perimeter, so obviously it's a decision. You could go either way with it, but whichever way you go, Lofton's going to punish you.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison. And early in the game, you know, Coach Keats wanted to stay out on the shooters, and Lofton did damage. I think you got to mix it up. You got to kind of keep him kind of off his toes, that he doesn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When you get comfortable out there, it's when it becomes easy.
Bradford lost it, got it back inside.
Too low, too low. He catches the ball in the paint. He's going to finish. Too big, too strong.
Yeah, he's only listed at 6'7", which for a post player is undersized. But he uses his body. His body control is so good. And like you said, I think it all starts with that positioning. That even going up against bigger players, and again, playing for the United States and the U19 team, he was going up against guys internationally that were 7-footers, had no problem scoring against them, because you see, there's not many under 19-year-olds that are going to be stronger than that guy.
No, he's strong, he's smart, he's crafty. The other thing, he's a lefty. You know, lefties always create problems for defensive players, but he's the kind of guy that's just fun to watch, because you look at him, kind of like judging a book and saying, I don't like the cover, it's not going to be good. Well, I'll tell you, looking at him, he doesn't pass that eye test, but he certainly puts the ball in the bucket.
12 to shoot for Helms. Tough fall away. And the rebound ripped away by Archibald in the end.
I'll tell you, they're just hanging around,
Yep.
down 8, not panicking, staying in the game. Oh, what a beautiful finish. Oh, all the way to the back. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that ball up on the glass and get it in with that angle. Just a beautiful finish there.
Morcell took a gamble defensively, and Archibald's acrobatic to the rim.
So they do a good job of sitting Lofton Jr., knowing that the TV timeout's coming in 30 seconds. Give him a breather. Don't want him to get in foul trouble.
Tough take for Smith. That's pretty.
Yeah, he's special. He's got a real nice game. Once he gets in the lane, his little floater's got nice touch around the basket.
Williams back in with those 3 fouls. Need someone to come get the ball.
Nice look.
In and out.
Couldn't get it. Goes a nice patient offense. They got a good look late in the shot clock, just didn't fall.
And who do we got here? This would be a huge call. They haven't signaled yet. We don't know if it's a block or a charge. It's the 4th on Kobe Williams.
Wow. They weren't sure what to do there. They looked at one another.
And Coach Conkle cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Timeout, media break under 12. 8-point lead for the Pack, but the leader Williams to the bench with 4 fouls. Well, the foul that led us into our media timeout is a big call. As Rex Chapman would ask on Twitter, block or charge?
Oh, boy, I tell you what, NC State got away with one right there. Unbelievable little shiver there. Not only did they not get the call, but Williams picks up his 4th foul. Remember that at the 11:30 mark, the guy that runs your offense picks up his 4th is out now.
Hellam's going to go to the line to shoot 3 as he's fouled by David Green. And so, again, with Williams on the bench, your best defender, the engine of your team, and now on the floor, this is really, I think, Coach Conkle trying to steal a few minutes, and Lofton's immediately getting back up to go to the table as Helms hits the first. But you look at who's on the floor. You have Amari Archibald, who's got more experience than anybody, but Stewart's a freshman. Kenny Hunter's out there, a freshman. LaDamian Bradford, a 2nd-year freshman. And David Green, a 2nd-year freshman.
Yeah, there's no question. They needed to get Lofton back, and they just need that offensive presence.
Right.
But I tell you right now, with 11:28, this is a crucial period of time for Louisiana Tech. They need to keep it close. They got to stick around. NC State has got to feel good about where they are right now with Williams with 4 and a long way to go.
Lead is swelled to 11 now. Here is number 11, LaDamian Bradford, nearly turning it over. Now, he's an interesting player. Spent his last year at Texas A&M. He made 14 appearances and got a couple of starts. And I asked Coach Conkle about him, and he said he's still trying to really figure out all the rotations that he wants to play. Is DeWanna erase this one? Are they going to count the basket? No. The point I'm getting to, though, is that he's a guy that started a couple of times as a true freshman for Texas A&M, has not been playing a ton, just averaging 12.5 minutes per game. But now with Williams out, perhaps he will see some more minutes, and this is a chance for him to make a case for more PT. So Amari Archibald to shoot 2. And he puts in his 6th point. Tonight at 10:30 Eastern, the Huddle quartet of Jordan Cornett, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Mark Richt will be back with complete breakdowns of all 8 ACC games today. The Huddle right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Several teams, 3 ACC teams playing for bowl eligibility: Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and Florida State, as Archibald hits the pair, and that'll allow them to set up the press. Wake Forest playing to win the ACC's Atlantic Division and face Pitt. And at last check, Wake Forest with a large lead at Boston College, much to the chagrin of the Wolfpack faithful.
Yeah, no question about that, but we saw a big-time game last night. I've been watching games for 35-plus years. It's by far the most exciting game I've ever seen.
E.B. DeWanna, 8 points now. Home run pass. Lofton able to catch and finish.
Tell you what, you talk about an athlete. Not only did he make the catch, the footwork to get to the bucket and the soft touch around the rim.
We were talking about offensive tackle, and he's not big enough for that, but he could play tight end.
Tight end, absolutely. Absolutely.
And he just showed you he wouldn't just be a blocking tight end. He's got the hands. And the outlet again. Here's LaDamian Bradford.
That's just beautiful. That's just good basketball. They know he can make that pass. On those rebounds, you see guys leaking out because he delivers it on a strike. Could you compare him to a Tim Tebow as a quarterback? A big, heavy-set,
lefty,
strong lefty, maybe.
Jared Lorenzen.
Say the last couple offenses from NC State have not been good. They need to be patient and get a good shot.
Hayes has to force it up, and he makes it.
I tell you, what an unbelievable athlete to be able to make a shot like that. Defended extremely well.
NC State with the bucket. Kevin Keats hot at his team. Kevin Keats calling a timeout off of a made basket, and he called that timeout to talk to his team. He was not happy, obviously, with the result of that last possession. He's fine with, but you think it's probably a multitude of possessions.
I think it's the last 3 possessions.
Okay.
They were quick shots, bad shots, and then that offensive possession, they were very fortunate. Cam Hayes being a lot of guys can't even get that shot off, but Cam's such a good athlete. He raised up and knocked it down, and bailed out the team. But Coach Keats not happy with the offensive execution the last 2-3 possessions.
So as you said, this is a key stretch without Williams with the 4 fouls, and Caleb Stewart, he's played well so far tonight. He's knocked down a couple of threes. He finds Bradford for 3, and Stewart, that's what they need him to do now. He's got to be able to create.
You know, Stewart did a real nice job. He beats the defense, and what happens? NC State has to come up and help. He makes the extra pass to the open shooter that knocks it down. NC State's got to do a better job there of keeping the ball handler in front of him.
This is a Louisiana Tech team that was picked 2nd in the CUSA, and keep in mind, they, like NC State, were in the NIT last year and went further than the Wolfpack, finished 3rd in the NIT. So, and we asked Coach about that run, and how impactful was that for a young team to make it to an NIT Final Four? And he said, not only did they get the game reps, they got all the practices as well. They got that postseason feel and defeated Colorado State in the 3rd-place game as we get another look at this foul. So that's going to be charged to Lofton, but let's see, that number on Lofton, just his 2nd. But that was a huge run for them last year.
Yeah, no question. When you have a young team, the more games they play, the more big games that are kind of you lose and you're out, that's what you want. That's how you build the program, and he's obviously done a tremendous job building this program.
And they open the season at Alabama. That's their only loss of the year, as Sebron gets a couple little too easily there, but that gives them the confidence that they can win this game on the road at an ACC team.
No, they came in here not to play. They came in here to win. A lot of teams come in, they collect their fee, they leave, they're happy. Not so with Louisiana Tech. Their mentality was come in here to try to get a W.
And it might be a little blessing in disguise that Williams has the 4 fouls, because it's given Stewart a chance to shine here.
And he's playing well here down the stretch.
He's matched his career high now with 8 points, but there's Morcell. And the last couple of possessions after that Coach Keats timeout, we've seen NC State getting to the rim more.
They've settled down. They're not taking bad shots. Here you see them. Couple dribbles, strong move, picking up Lofton's 3rd foul, which is really nice. But I'll tell you, love the way Morcell plays. He's always under control. He's very, very strong. So a little contact doesn't bother him. He's able to finish.
Free throw good. And Louisiana Tech keeps trying to chip into this lead. Every time they get close, NC State's able to reaffirm back up to 8 or 10. And there's good defense. Well, Lofton saying it was tipped. I thought so as well.
Yeah, no, that should be Louisiana Tech ball, but
let's see. Did Dewana touch it? No. Last touch by Lofton.
Good call.
All the way across. Smith will tee up a 3. Oh, that could have been 4 on Lofton. He stayed straight up.
I think it was a good no call. Went straight up. Smart play. Oh, what a shot. Holy mackerel. I thought he was out of control, and he throws it up with his left hand, and he was looking for the foul as well.
Even Dewana had a smile on his face after that one, as if to say, I can't believe that shot went in.
That's one of those horse shots that you would use
yeah.
in the backyard.
Offensive foul.
There he goes, just taking it down the court. Takes it down the court. Looks like he's a little out of control. A little dipsy-do off the glass. In. What a heck of
Junior, as they call him, Kenneth Lofton Jr. He has been one to watch today. 25 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. We talked about him playing on that gold medal U19 team, and head coach Jamie Dixon, the TCU head coach, also said he was their go-to guy. You know who else who said that he was their go-to guy? Chet Holmgren,
Whoa.
who is probably going to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft. If you haven't seen him for Gonzaga, you could have seen him last night against Paulo Banchero, who a lot of people think they might go 1-2. And so even with a guy who's presumably the #1 pick in the draft, they fed Kenneth Lofton Jr., and that's been the recipe for Louisiana Tech. He was able to draw the charge right before the media timeout. Would have been his 4th foul. Of note, by the way, and we apologize, just missing Jericho Hellam's 4th foul. I thought he was on the bench with 3 and getting a little bit of a breather, but Hellam's, according to the official stats, has 4 fouls, so that's why he's out with those 29 points. Shot clock violation. And NC State defending Junior pretty well that time.
That was a good defensive possession there for NC State. Up 7, they get a bucket there. They could have cut it to 5, but Junior couldn't get the ball and convert.
7-point game, under 7 minutes to play. Williams back out there with the 4 fouls. We'll see how long Kevin Keats keeps Helms on the bench. Again, he struggled with foul trouble all year. Big 3 by Baby T, Terquavion Smith.
I tell you, he's not afraid of the moment. He loves the big shots, got great confidence. You don't see that in a lot of freshmen. They got to, throw it down to the big man. Somebody needs to help him down there.
Blocked by Dewana, but again, he's just too big, too strong. Second effort works.
He's the kind of guy you see at the YMCA, and he just gives it to you all the time, can score, rebound, and you wonder, does that ever translate to big-time college basketball? And the answer is yes, because you're seeing it today. I mean, he's amazing when he gets the ball down there. He just has an unbelievable knack right around the bucket.
He was the freshman of the year in CUSA last year. I think he's probably the best player in Conference USA this year. Morcell, count it! Chance for a 4-point play.
I'm going to tell you, Andrew, I'm going to tell you what I love about that play more than anything is the great, he almost like intercepted the ball back, then shoots it. So unbelievable the fact that he would reach out, catch that ball. That could have very easily been a steal and 2 points at the other end. Great play by Casey Morcell.
So a huge swing there. And there's the answer to my question. Cam Hayes out. Jericho Helms is back in with those 4 fouls. But the last 2 possessions, the Smith 3 in the corner, Morcell here from the right wing, and now to the line. He can't finish off the 4-point play.
I can't quite get Louisiana Tech to go away. They just kind of are hanging around.
Big block by Dewana. Well, they missed Manny Bates, but that was Manny Bates-esque.
That's what they need. They need him to protect the rim, rebound, and he just seems like he's getting a little bit better every game, and they're going to need that.
The hesitation.
Hey, he's just so big and
can't guard him
and wide. I mean, people don't understand. Guys that have great width in the post are hard to guard because you can't block their shot.
But again, NC State for the most part trying to stay down on the Louisiana Tech shooters. They're 5 of 15 from 3, and so we talked about it. If they don't double, we were talking pregame, hey, Junior might go for 30. Well, he's got 29, but NC State's fine with it because they're up 9. Make it 12. Raining threes. Morcell with his second.
Morcell's in a good rhythm, here the last 2 or 3 possessions, just knocking down threes. He's the kind of guy that can really get it going.
I remember way back in the day, West Virginia legend Kevin Pittsnoggle had a shirt. It said 3 is greater than 2. And the last couple of possessions, that's what it's been for NC State. They can't stop Lofton, but they're getting it done on the other end.
That's right. You got to pick your poison, and as long as they're not stopping Lofton, and then Louisiana Tech shooting extremely high percentage from 3, which they're not. That was a little heat check, Morcell. A little deep, a little quick. Coach Keats looks over at him. Well, I tell you, the threes are raining here. You see Terquavion Smith knocking one down in the corner, and then Casey Morcell with an opportunity and one. That's not a replay. That's Morcell knocking them down.
Kevin Keats' team up 12 at the final media timeout against the top 100 team, according to Ken Palm in Louisiana Tech. The best team that NC State has played is Dewana erases another, but there's 31 for Lofton now. The best team NC State has played, they lost to Oklahoma State, 38th, according to Ken Palm. But this would be their best win if they can hold on down the final 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, not only would it be their best win, but they've actually played extremely well. They've won some games early, but they haven't looked good. You know, I think that, they're playing well defensively. They're sharing the ball. Defensively with a good, they caught Morcell there. But no, I think Coach Keats is going to be happy with the defensive effort. He's going to be happy with the offensive movement. This, by far, to me, has been their best showing.
We do have a win over a quality Colgate squad. Colgate winning at Syracuse earlier this year. First free throw in for Willis. Again, want to remind you, tonight, 10:30 Eastern, it's The Huddle. A quartet of Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Mark Richt. They'll be back. Complete breakdowns, all 8 ACC games today. The Huddle right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. 8-point lead now for the Wolfpack. The Louisiana Tech full court pressure has not bothered them the few times that they've shown it so far today.
They're just trying to speed them up. You know, they're going to have to get some steals, turnovers. Louisiana Tech just not going to be enough possessions unless they create a little something.
Sure. All right, Morcell's had the hot hand. That continues. Clutch three-point shooting down the stretch, and NC State, how about 50% on the afternoon from outside?
I'll tell you, it was Helms the first half and Morcell the second.
Boy, Louisiana Tech had to have that one. Dewana's going to be called on Junior. Jericho Helms, 29 points today. He's not the leading scorer. That would be Kenneth Lofton Jr. And he's, by the way, you said he's a walking double-double. About 31 and now 17. They give him that rebound, and he'll go to the line.
I tell you, they've been two great individual performances. Lofton Jr. keeping Louisiana Tech in, and Jericho Helms' first half was one of the best first half performances I've seen from an NC State player in a long time.
If there's one thing that Junior doesn't do tremendously well, he's just a 60% free throw shooter, but that the front end of the one-and-one, I should say, he knocks it down.
I'm surprised because it looks good when it comes off his hand. It's nice and smooth. You would think he'd have a higher percentage.
So he goes 1 for 2.
This is where Cam Hayes and NC State has to be smart. You want to work the clock. Don't want to shoot too early. A little over 2 minutes left.
How about that? NC State needing a bucket, and they go inside to Dewana.
Dewana with the finish, but Sebron is such a cerebral, smart player. Saw the mismatch inside, delivered the ball. I tell you, Sebron does it all. He can rebound, he can pass, he can score. I mean, he just has so many tools, so versatile. Oh, jeez.
I think you used the right word, bully.
He is a bully in there. Guarding him after the game, they're going to be black and blue because he hurts you. He just jumps into you, but what a performance he's had here.
So we knew he had a career high in points. He's now at 34 points, but he's got 17 rebounds, which is also a career high. He's closing in on the opponent record in the building, which I believe is 38.
Oh, wow.
That would have been the fourth on either Lofton or Williams, instead an offensive foul.
That's the one part of Sebron's game that he has to be a little more under control. He's not going to be able to get always to the rim. That's where he's got to learn to stop and shoot a little runner, not be out of control. Tell you, a minute 18 left, down 10. Louisiana Tech's going to need a miracle, but I saw one last night, so never say never.
Yeah, Wolfpack fans feeling great about last night's game, in which the nationwide audience saw it on ESPN, and when we were actually, when we were talking to Coach Conkle, he said he caught the end of the game and couldn't believe it. The first team to win down 9 or more with 2.5 minutes left in 451 tries.
That was beautiful. Beautiful
this
game,
season.
beautiful finish. And real happy for Dave Doran and the football staff. I tell you, E.B. Dewana has been active. He didn't get the rebound there, but he's getting his hands on a lot of balls. He's really had a nice game.
Well, we've seen quite a few career highs today, and Jericho Helms with a career high in points, Kenneth Lofton Jr. points and rebounds. E.B. Dewana's previous career high was 4 points. It came against Colgate this year. He's in the double figures. He's chipped in 10 points, just 1 rebound, but I mean, you need something from him. Obviously, he's tried his best to guard Lofton, but he's 5 of 5 from the floor.
Yeah, he's been active. The thing that I really kind of like most about his game today is just his activity. He's got his hands going. He's going after balls. He's in there. He's not going to face many guys that are better offensively than Lofton Jr., but he's the kind of guy, along with Gibson, they need to improve little by little. Just get better. Because when we get into the ACC, the thick of the season, they're going to need their size and strength to compete against, the Duke bigs, the Carolina bigs. But they are showing some nice progress.
NC State with a 10-point lead, looking to put this one away. You know that Louisiana Tech's going to go to Lofton Jr. And again, as I said, the building record for any opponent, it's not a player from the ACC. It's Winthrop's Jimmy Gavin. He scored 38 points in this building, and now he's got 36, but the record is 38 by Winthrop's Jimmy Gavin back in 2015.
Yeah, they're going to have to foul here when the ball goes in, or Coach Keats with a quick timeout.
So we are watching one of the best performances ever against NC State by an opponent in PNC Arena.
Yeah, it's amazing what he's done. He's an undersized guy. You're talking about 6'7", playing the center position, but he makes up for it with his size and strength, his brute power. It was amazing. You don't see players like that all the time, so I thoroughly enjoyed watching his game today.
Yeah, how could you not? 36 and 18. That is something else.
That's
I mean,
big
we're talking, hey, depending on if they isolate him, he might go for 30. Yeah, and then some.
And Coach Keats made a decision that they weren't going to double. They didn't want him facilitating finding the open three-point shooters, but he certainly has held his own inside, keeping them around. They never could get it quite close enough late in the game, and a lot has to do when Williams picked up his fourth foul. They couldn't make the run.
He hasn't had all that much help. Willis and Archibald both have 7. Caleb Stewart off the bench has 8. He's the second leading scorer. Meanwhile, for NC State, they've gotten a career-high performance. 29 from Helms. Sebron has chipped in 10, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Casey Morcell, 14 points. We mentioned Dewana with 10. So they've got 4 players in double figures, and there's just been a little more balance on this NC State team.
Yeah, there's no question. You're going to look at that Colgate win. You're going to look at this Louisiana Tech win at the end of the year. They're going to be nice wins. They're going to have to foul here. If they don't get a steal right away, they've got to go with the quick foul.
And Stewart was preventing Hayes from getting around him. So even before the inbound, no time comes off the clock. Whistle blows, and Hayes will go to the free throw line, and that's just the 8th team foul. So it'll be 1-1 here for the NC State point guard.
Cam Hayes had an unbelievable freshman year. When Devin Daniels went down, Cam Hayes and Darion Sebron really stepped up the second part of the year. And, it's that next man mentality, and hopefully he's going to have a great sophomore campaign as well.
Couple of subs being made here. Damian Bradford back in. First free throw, good. I see. So they were going to put Junior in to rebound, and I think the officials made him put Bradford back in because both Williams and Lofton with 4 fouls. They were not in to guard that inbounds. Both free throws made, and so they can't check them in here for offense just yet.
Yeah, they need to rush it up, get an easy 2 or a 3. They'll take the 2.
New career high for Stewart now. He's got 10.
Timeout Bulldogs.
And a timeout, Louisiana Tech. So exactly as you said, exactly how they wanted to draw it up. And the McDonald's All-American nominee from last year, Caleb Stewart, with his new career high. No doubt about the Wolfpack player of the game. And again, it was those threes that came early. He went for over 20 in the first half.
Boy, he was hotter than a firecracker early on, cooled off a little bit, but it's good to see him going. You know, early in the year, he has not played the way he's capable of doing it. I'm sure Coach Keats, the coaching staff says, hey, you gave us 29 on 6 of 8 from 3. You know, let's keep this thing rolling.
The Bulldogs couldn't stop him today. Really, the only thing that did stop him was the foul trouble, and that's something that he's got to continue to work on. Is again, he's fouled out of 3 games this year. But when you look at his offensive production, they knew that he needed a get-right game, if you will.
Yeah.
He got right today.
No doubt. You know, again, good win, but I'm real pleased. NC State on the defensive end kept people in front of them for the most part, played very sound. Offensively was the best they've looked all year. They made the extra pass. They had some movement. You know, this is one of those wins that, you know, you're playing Louisiana Tech. This is going to be a good win. Again, the best they've looked in the early season.
30 seconds left.
Got to get a quick steal or a foul.
Nearly a steal there in the corner, right in front of the bench.
You know, a lot of coaches, they'll say, listen, let's try to trap, let's not foul right away, but when you only got 30 seconds, you've got to do one or the other real quickly.
And once again, they're trying to get Junior in the game, and then he's called back.
You know, Cam Hayes will have 2 shots here, but this is where you've got to have your guards make free throws late in the game. You know, they got an 8-point lead. You knock them down, it's a 10-point lead. If not, you know, they rush it down.
It's just 1-and-1 here, I believe.
Is it 1-on-1?
Yeah.
Yep. Knock it down. There you go.
Again tonight, 10:30 Eastern. Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, EJ Manuel, Mark Richt. Complete breakdowns of all 8 ACC games today. The Huddle on the ACC Network, the ESPN app. You know, out of that quartet, 3 of them football guys. Eric McLean, Clemson, offensive lineman. EJ Manuel, Florida State quarterback. Mark Richt, of course, coached at Miami in the ACC. But Jordan Cornette, that's the basketball guy.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame, all-time blocks leader.
Oh, big shot.
Ball goes in for Kriston. Cutting it to 7 again, and the Bulldogs are going to make NC State earn it from the charity stripe. Now in the double bonus.
I'll tell you, Cam Hayes, very confident free throw shooter. Some guys run away from the ball late in games. Cam Hayes wants the ball, very confident, knows he can knock these down.
And that's got to give you confidence as a team that with all things being equal outside of free throw shooting, you want the ball in his hands anyways. And then with the game on the line as well, he's comfortable with taking it and knocking down free throws.
So many games are won and lost at the foul line
Sure.
late in games. And when you got a guy like Cam Hayes, that gives you a good opportunity.
Archibald's goes right around pass. High-scoring game today. Helms will look to add to his total and crack 30 for the first time, and NC State with a chance to get to 90.
Number 21 is set.
And Louisiana Tech is gone up above 90 a couple of times this year, but one they scored 91 against Jarvis Christian, 96 against Louisiana Monroe on Wednesday.
They're going to win a lot of games this year in conference, and they're a team that could make the tournament. I mean, they're always 1 or 2 in their league, and this is a formidable team that you could see in March.
30 points now for Jericho Helms, and a new season high for NC State. And just for Wolfpack basketball bingo purposes, Jericho Helms went to the same high school as Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum. Just had to get that one in there. Little inside joke for all the Wolfpack fans.
Pretty good players there.
Rebounds for Sabron, and he'll dribble it out. What an individual performance we saw by two very good basketball teams. Kenneth Lofton Jr., new career highs. He goes for 36 on the road, but it's NC State behind 31 from Jericho Helms. Take a 90-81 victory. This game, as we expected, was a fun one.
Oh, no doubt. We got our money's worth, no doubt about it. Two great individual performances, two really good teams that are improving at the right time. This is going to be fun to watch them as we go.
So the Wolfpack improves to 5-1 overall, and they snap the 4-game winning streak for Louisiana Tech. So again, this new rivalry between NC State and Louisiana Tech, baseball, football, and now NC State gets the dub in basketball as well. What a performance by Jericho Helms and Kenneth Lofton Jr. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. This has been a presentation of ESPN.